Capital Community Television, in cooperation with Salem Kaiser Public Schools, presents the CCTV Game of the Week. Tonight's game features the South Salem Saxons and the McKay Royal Scots. Hello everybody, I'm John Piper. We're at South Salem High School for Valley League basketball. Joining me for the telecast tonight, Harv Shabothi. Harv, the South Salem Saxons have one loss in league play, and that was to the McKay Royal Scots.
John, they do. In fact, they've got only one loss to any basketball team here in Oregon, and that is to McKay. So McKay has shown they can play with this ball team.
The South Salem Saxons on paper look like just an outstanding team. They really play well, but foul trouble can cause them problems.
That's for sure. But I'm looking for what South wants to do tonight is they want to get off to a fairly big lead early and then count on their home crowd to really pull them through tonight, and I think that might happen.
Very important ball game for McKay. They're still in the thick of the race for that fourth playoff spot.
Yeah, all of a sudden they are tied for fourth. You remember this young team got it off to a slow start, a lot of close ball games, but a lot of early losses. They put it together recently and all of a sudden find themselves tied for that fourth playoff spot. If they keep playing the way they're playing, John, I think they have a real shot at it.
All right, we are looking forward to a good ball game here tonight, and we'll be back right after these messages from our sponsors. Partial funding for tonight's program is provided by your friends at Round Table Pizza. Get real, get Round Table at 2 convenient locations in Salem. Partial funding also provided by G.I. Joe's. G.I. Joe's, the sports and auto store, also with 2 convenient locations in Salem.
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to South Salem High School, home of the Saxons. Tonight, our rivals from across town are the McKay Royal Scots. We hope that you enjoy tonight's 4A basketball contest and welcome your enthusiastic support of our athletes. We also would like to remind you that courtesy and good sportsmanship are as important in the stands as they are on the floor. Now, if you would all please stand and join, if you like, in our national anthem played by the South Salem Pep Band under the direction of Miss Shira Fadley. And now tonight's starting lineup for the visiting McKay Royal Scots. Wearing number 20, 5'9" senior Scott Putnam. Number 22, 5'5" sophomore Danny Aguilar. 5'11" junior guard number 24, Eric Elwood. A 6-foot senior wearing number 32, Josiah Lake. And on the post, 6'4" junior number 42, John Stover. Head coach for the Royal Scots is Steve Maston. And now the starting lineup for number 1 Valley League team, the South Salem Saxons. Starting tonight with the corners, Wearing number 22, 6-foot senior at 14-point game average, Ian Meinert. In the opposite corner, 6'4" senior, 23 points right here against West Albany, Jeff Rice. At the lonesome guard with a play starter and spark plug of the team, number 24, Mike McKay. On the post this evening, number 42, scoring 21 points against West Albany, Thalo Green. On the opposite post, defensive rock and constant scorer, 52, Troy Hammer. Your Saxon coaches, Mr. Barry Adams and Chuck Chamberlain.
Glad you could join us for Valley Lake basketball. John Piper along with Harv Shabothi at South Salem High School. Good crowd on hand tonight, Harv, and the band is here, directed by Shira Fadley. So we're looking forward to a very lively evening of basketball tonight.
Well, we sure are, and it's Friday night, high school basketball as it should be, John.
The South Salem High School gym is really an outstanding place to watch high school basketball. If you have not been out to South Salem for a ball game, we'd encourage you to do so.
The crowds out here are really enthusiastic, John. It's really fun to be part of this atmosphere.
The South Salem Saxons coming off a victory on Tuesday night over West Albany. They racked up 101 points.
Well, this team can score, John. You know, and if you look at the potential scorers they have with Thalo Green, Jeff Rice, they're capable of putting a lot of points on the board.
Thalo Green will be going against John Stover in the opening jump. And chased down by Rice, and Rice takes it to the basket. And I'm not sure what McKay was doing on that. They may have been confused as to which basket they were going to. Rice was able to get to the bucket, but unable to convert.
Oh, Hosea Lake really got up to block that shot.
Rice takes it back up, misses it. There's Green inside. He's got it. And he can't score. Correction, that was Troy Hammer. And Troy Hammer has really been playing some good basketball for Coach Barry Adams.
He really has. He's kind of stepped in and out of the starting lineup. He's been more in and out recently, and he's paying big dividends for Barry and his rest of the ball team. One major problem, you can look at the heights on these ball players tonight, and McKay has a definite size disadvantage. They're going to have to keep people like John Stover in the ball game.
Hammer with the first and the second free throw. The McKay Royal Scots in the green uniforms. South Salem putting pressure on right away, and Danny Aguilar running the show for the Royal Scots. Number 22, 5'5".
And just a sophomore, John. I think this kid has the potential of being the best point guard in this league in another year or two.
The foul is called on Mike McShane, number 24, and that is one of the few problems the South Salem Saxons have had when their starters get in foul trouble. They do not have a lot of depth.
No, they don't, and McShane is really a key. We saw them play against Sprague, John. You'll remember, and McShane had foul trouble there. They had a 9-point lead, and all of a sudden it got whittled away. They did not play well with McShane on the bench.
The Royal Scots, a very patient team.
I think that's a key tonight.
Josiah Lake is called for the violation.
Lost his balance.
And Josiah Lake has been a real plus for the McKay Royal Scots this year.
This team's really starting to mature, John. We saw them against McNary, remember, a couple of weeks ago, and they played almost flawless basketball out there.
Meinert with the jumper.
There's one of the unsung players in this starting five. When he has to, he can fill it up.
Almost a turnover for the Royal Scots. Inside to Stover. Stover with the turnaround jumper. And John Stover, when he is hitting that shot, McKay in pretty good shape.
John, I really like this McKay team and the way they're starting to mature.
And a traveling on Mike McShane. We've watched the Royal Scots twice this year, and when John Stover was not part of the ball game, they really struggled. When he was a part of the offense, the Scots won that ball game. Aguilar almost loses the basketball.
Well, John, we talked about this McKay team and how young they are, and the fact that they play so close, even with that much youth. That with the experience, we saw some real potential even from the start. And they've got themselves back in the Valley League race, and they're playing excellent basketball right now.
Knocked away by Green. Rice comes up with it. Rice is going to take it all away. Offensive foul. And Jeff Rice maybe should have pulled up for the jumper on that one. Good position by Eric Elwood. 5 minutes, 56 seconds to go. South Salem 4, McKay 2. And a foul on Thalo Green, and I'm not sure what Thalo was doing out there. Eric Elwood, 5'11", Thalo Green at 6'7". And Elwood not noted for scoring. Stolen by McShane. What a steal. Loses the basketball, and Aguilar intercepts it. McShane tried to pass it back, and there was Aguilar.
And he's just an excellent defensive presence. I'm not sure we have too many more peskier ball players in the league than that young man.
Knocked away by Hammer, but comes right back to Aguilar. Aguilar to the basket. Danny Aguilar, outstanding move.
When he's a senior, John, that boy's going to be all league if he doesn't get there before.
Foul will be on Scott Putnam, number 20. And there's some very interesting matchups out here with Thalo Green matched up with Elwood. Meinert matched up with Danny Aguilar. Green will take it in, passes to Hammer for the basket and the foul. And Thalo Green, finding the open man, could have taken it in himself.
No question he could have. And the foul's on Stover, the one man McKay does not want to lose tonight.
John Stover with his first, and that will send Troy Hammer back to the line. Hammer sunk his first 2 free throws. 4 minutes, 49 seconds to go. The Saxons leading by 3. And almost a steal by McShane. For you trivia fans, all of these Saxon starters have on their t-shirts under their jerseys. Josiah Lake with a jumper, and he's fouled. That'll be on Meinert.
He was really off balance when he took the shot, but he did manage to draw the foul.
And our game being called fairly closely, so the Saxons need to recognize that.
Yeah, I think so, and continue to go inside and see what if Stover can play some D in there.
Josiah Lake with the first free throw. Lake with 2 free throws. A 1-point ball game, 4 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Inside to Green. And just like money in the bank.
Yes, it was.
The Saxons like a quick tempo. McKay, on the other hand, very deliberate.
Yeah, they need to slow it down tonight if they're try to maintain contact.
Aguilar passes it off to Putnam for the basket, and once again, Danny Aguilar getting into the paint.
He's just getting better and better every game, John.
McShane all the way. Green with the rebound, and he ends up on the floor, but a jump ball is called.
McKay's really outmatched underneath, and it's showing, and Barry Adams has his Saxons taking advantage of it. They're going inside in almost every possession.
Meinert for three. Misses the shot. Lake with the rebound.
Now there's an athlete. You see how high he got off the ground, John?
And a foul on Ian Meinert. And Coach Barry Adams not happy with that call. That is the second foul on Meinert. And coming into the ball game for the Saxons is number 14, Kyle Carlson. And the official is going over to talk with Coach Barry Adams. Not sure exactly what is going on, but he stopped play, went over to talk to Barry Adams, perhaps giving him a warning.
I think so.
Chuck Peterson is the official.
Chuck's a veteran, of course, so is Barry. They've been here many times before.
Stover with the jumper, not this time. Rebound comes down to Mike McShane. Rice has to pull it back out. McShane with a jumper, too strong. Aguilar with the rebound.
Smallest man on the floor comes up with the ball.
The Saxons with a 1-point lead, 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go, first period. We are at South Salem High School on the CCTV Game of the Week. Stolen by Hammer. Hammer over to Rice. Rice gets the basket and the foul. And the foul is on number 24, Eric Elwood. A nice play by Troy Hammer, first of all, to get the steal, and then passing it over to Jeff Rice for the basket and the foul.
Troy is playing real solid tonight, offensively, defensively.
Rice is too strong. Carlson with the rebound, and he shoots the jumper. And Elwood with another foul. That should be number 3 on Eric Elwood.
Eric may have to sit down.
Coach Steve Maston had Jason Stoneman ready to come in, and unfortunately Elwood picked up another foul while Stoneman was waiting at the scorer's table. Kyle Carlson at the line. Kyle, just an outstanding football player for the Saxons. And not a bad free throw shooter.
No, that one looked real good. You know, Stoneman coming into the ball game. Stoneman started a lot of ball games for McKay, so it's not like they've lost a lot with Elwood going down.
The Saxons up by 5. 2 minutes, 52 seconds to go. South Salem 13 and McKay 8. And a turnover for the Royal Scots.
Danny Aguilar a little bit careless on that pass.
Well, when we talked with Coach Steve Maston after the Royal Scots defeated McNary, he was very pleased with the progress that Danny Aguilar has made since his freshman year. He's only a sophomore. He learned a lot that first year, and he's really doing a good job running this team. Mike McShane running the show for the Saxons, playing the lonesome guard position. Inside to Green, right at the basket. Count the basket, and he's fouled. And Thalo Green is going to have all kinds of opportunities inside. And a coach as experienced as Barry Adams recognizes where the advantages are.
Absolutely, they're going to go inside all night. At least they have so far.
The Royal Scots earlier this year defeated South Salem 61-57 in overtime, and that is South Salem's only loss in league play. Now there's a conversation here between Chuck Peterson and a couple of Saxons. Now Steve Maston comes over to join.
Oh, the foul was called on Thalo Green. That was what the discussion was about. Thalo thought he was going to the line.
So Green is charged with the foul.
They called it a charge.
but they gave him the basket. And Thalo is going to take a seat on the bench after picking up, I believe, his second foul.
Second foul.
And Paul Richter, one of the subs. And here's another conversation down at the scorer's table. And unfortunately, we don't have a courtside microphone, so we can only guess as to what the discussion is, but it's got to be something about why did that basket count, and then and our public address announcer explaining that the foul was called after the shot. I'm not sure how that happened.
No, I don't either.
Two minutes, 12 seconds to go. The Saxons with a 7-point lead, first period. And a steal by Mike McShane. McShane heading up court quickly, will take it all the way and lay it in. Mike McShane, what an asset he is to this South Salem team.
Absolutely. You know, this starting five from South Salem, I think without question is the best starting five in the league. They complement each other well. They've got people like Jeff Rice, who in my opinion is probably the Valley League Player of the Year, at least thus far in the season. They've got the big postman in Thalo Green, McShane, an excellent point guard, but then they get support from people like Hammer, just absolute hustles all the time, and Minert, an excellent role player, could score for an awful lot of other teams, but for this team, it does exactly what they need to balance the rest of the ball players. Excellent group.
I would agree with you, Harv. I think that Jeff Rice is going to be the Valley League Player of the Year. He's an outstanding scorer, a pretty good defender. He can score it from outside, he can go inside, and he works well with his teammates, so he's got my vote.
Give him 2.
Our score with 1 minute 55 seconds to go, the South Salem Saxons 17 and the McKay Royal Scots 8. The fans here enjoying the sounds of the South Salem Pep Band directed by Shira Fadley. And we'd like to thank the South Salem Pep Band for being on hand tonight. Always makes for a little more exciting basketball game. Lake was open underneath. Ball is knocked away by Richter. Aguilar gets it back. Over to Lake for the jumper. Yes. And South Salem wants to run. Inside to Hammer. It's knocked away by Lake. Troy Hammer got a little bump there. Probably thought he was back on the defensive line.
There was contact.
Hammer is left alone, takes the jumper, misses the shot. Richter can't handle it. And Putnam comes up with a loose ball. Putnam with the jumper and a nice move by Scott Putnam. And a steal by Putnam at the other end.
McKay's getting into the flow a little bit now.
Aguilar takes it all the way, can't get it to go. Rebound by McShane. Gets it ahead to Carlson. Carlson, it's knocked away. There's no foul called. Jeff Rice has it. He loses the ball. Aguilar comes up with it.
A lot of contact and no whistles, John. It's kind of interesting they're calling it so close early in the ball game.
Well, maybe they want to be able to get out of this gym alive. And a turnover by Stoneman. He thought Aguilar was going to come back the other way, but gosh, this McKay Royal Scots team, you just really have to give them a lot of credit. They're outsized. They don't have as much experience as the Saxons. They're playing on the home court of the Saxons, but they are just playing their hearts out.
They are, John, and I really like this McKay team. For as much inexperience as they have, they've played tough almost every game they've played this year.
Jeff Rice in and out. Richter with the rebound, then he brings it down. Aguilar takes it away. And Aguilar slips and falls. A jump ball called, and it will be McKay basketball. And Paul Richter made that mistake of bringing the basketball down instead of putting it back up in the basket. You can't do that with Danny Aguilar around.
No, you can't. I used to do that a lot when I was playing, John.
Steal the ball or bring it down?
Bring it down, unfortunately. My coach just kept reminding me.
Jumper by Putnam, in and out, rebound by Van Hess, and he's fouled. Ryan Van Hess will go to the line for 2 shots. Richter called for the foul. And another timeout, our score. Well, that's the end of the quarter, but he will get 2 shots. Ryan Van Hess with 2 points as the clock said 0, but the McKay Royal Scots closing the margin. Our score after 1 period, the South Salem Saxons 17, McKay Royal Scots 14. And that's what McKay is going to have to do to stay in this ball game. They've got to really out-hustle the Saxons.
Well, they started to do that during the latter part of the quarter, John.
And we are glad you could join us on Capital Community Television's Game of the Week. Once again, we're at South Salem High School. Our director tonight is Tad Hepner, and we'd like to thank Tad and the rest of our CCTV crew for their work tonight and throughout the season on Capital Community Television, not only with basketball, but also they will be doing the district swimming meet on Saturday, tomorrow, and in a couple of weeks it'll be wrestling, as Capital Community Television will travel to Corvallis for the district wrestling meet. So be sure to watch the Statesman Journal for game times and also for when the district meet will be shown on television.
That district meet's going to be a real good one. There's a lot of outstanding wrestlers in this town, John. Salem's going to be well represented down there.
Rice takes it in, comes up short, and Lake with the rebound. The Saxons looking a little frustrated. Lake is going to take it all the way. No. Battle underneath and taken away by Mike McShane. Gets it out to Rice. Mike McShane, force under the boards. 3-point attempt by Rice is off the mark.
Jeff's not a little bit off tonight.
And Adam Maston, number 40, is in for the Royal Scots, a freshman, the son of Coach Steve Maston.
And he's a fine young freshman.
And that was an easy call. Jeff Rice right over the top of Josiah Lake, and the Saxons already in the penalty situation, and that's the one thing that they needed to avoid.
Jeff's limping a little bit. You know, he hasn't had a real strong game tonight, John. His shot's been off a little bit, and defensively he's been out of position a little, and now he's hurt.
And Jeff Rice is coming out of the game. He is definitely limping. Into the ball game is number 40, Jeff Harrison, another one of those defensive linemen from the Saxon football team.
Yeah, Jeff's a young man, young sophomore too, and with a little bit more playing time, I think we're going to see a lot from this young man.
Lake misses the shot, but the rebound comes right down to Putnam, and he puts it in the basket. McKay trailing by 1, and the Saxons have gone cold.
Putnam has really contributed.
Across to Carlson, inside to Richter. Richter is too far under. And Maston comes up with a basketball stolen by McShane. What a play by Mike McShane. And gets it into Harrison. Misses the shot, but he was fouled.
Troy Hammer.
Troy Hammer inside. Correction. Get my linemen mixed up.
Yeah, they do look similar.
6 minutes, 45 seconds to go. South Salem 17. McKay 16, and back to the line is Troy Hammer.
It's kind of a key period in the ball game as some of the big starters from both teams sat down. Danny Aguilar was down, although he's coming back in. Taylor Green was down.
Danny Aguilar, number 22, and Coach Maston has to be pleased with the play of Scott Putnam tonight.
Yes, he's really contributed big time.
The first free throw for Troy Hammer is in the bucket. And I think Troy's perfect at the line tonight.
I have him as perfect.
Must be right then. Thalo Green, number 42, is back in, but he has 2 fouls. He is guarding Stover now.
Richter is a little bit too close.
The foul is called on Paul Richter. And 2 on Richter, and the McKay Royal Scots will be going back to the line. It looked like in that first quarter the Saxons were going to run away with this one, but McKay clawed its way back in with some good defense and getting the shots they need to get and need to make.
Every game with this McKay team seems to be an adventure, John. None of the scores, whether they win or lose, are ever big in terms of the margin. They're always close.
Van Hess misses the free throw. Nice pass from McShane to Richter. He misses the shot, and the Saxons are going to have to convert those shots. Josiah Lake back out to Aguilar. Over to Maston on the far side. Lob to Van Hess, knocked away by Richter. Aguilar's got it into Stover. He loses it. And the ball will go to South Salem.
Ross Wagner coming into the ball game.
Ross Wagner, a 6'3" sophomore.
You know, watching Aguilar and Lake, I'm not sure there's a more athletic duo in this league. Not necessarily the world's best 2 basketball players in tandem, but in terms of just pure athleticism, they're really fun to watch.
6 minutes, 1 second to go. South Salem 19, McKay 16. And the Saxons have been sputtering on offense.
They're letting McKay hang around, and that's not necessarily wise.
McShane for 3 will be well short. Wagner gets the rebound. Stoneman knocks it away.
Ooh, I thought I saw a rather heavy...
A foul?
Yeah.
Well, our officials have gone the other way now. They were calling it very tight. Now they're letting them play.
No, I mean, it looked like he literally grabbed the wrist under there.
And a collision between Maston and McShane is called for the foul.
And Maston comes up limping.
Second foul on McShane.
We've talked about this. McShane doesn't want to get in foul trouble. Barry's already looking at his bench.
And at the line will be Adam Maston.
This guy's a real pure shooter.
Adam Maston, 6'1" freshman. And we're back to a 1-point ball game. The Saxons 19 and McKay 18.
Maston was limping badly coming down to court. I think he's going to come out.
Thalo Green right at the basket.
I just don't think McKay can stop that. And I, again, am surprised Barry hasn't gone to that more. He was the first part of the ball game.
And a foul on Jeff Harrison. Aggressive defense is one thing, but sometimes you have to take into consideration how the officials are calling the ball game, and the Saxons have really not done that. They've picked up some very unnecessary fouls.
Well, but it's been a real hard game for them to figure, because there have been times where the refs have let all kinds of contact go. So, but you're right. They've been playing aggressively, and they've been whistled for some rather ticky-tack fouls. So you adjust accordingly. I agree with you, John.
Elwood misses the shot. A rebound by Ross Wagner, and the pass fired into Thalo Green. The only problem was Thalo wasn't looking. Josiah Lake comes back in for McKay. And the ball is knocked away by Green, but It will go to McKay. And I don't think I would have Thalo Green down on this end of the court.
Well, the Saxons have been contesting this all night long, and they have gotten a few turnovers off of it.
Lake was wide open underneath. Royal Scots missed him. Inside to Stoneman. Misses the shot, but there is
John Stover.
Stover on the other side.
It's only 4 points for tonight for Stover. I was expecting a little bit more, but he was Johnny on the spot there.
Inside to Green with a turnaround. And Jeff Rice has not been into the ball game. We saw him limp to the bench, so we're not sure what the situation is, but Thalo Green is carrying the load for the Saxons.
Sure is. Those 2 votes we gave him might have been a little premature, John. We probably jinxed him.
The Saxons leading by 3. Into Putnam. Blocked by McShane. Gets it ahead to Harrison. Harrison lays it in. And the Saxons taking advantage of the opportunity.
We've opened it back up to 5. See if McKay continues to show the patience that's got him back in the ball game.
Stolen pass by Kyle Carlson.
Lazy pass.
And a couple of quick buckets by the Saxons make that lead back up to 7.
Coach Maston didn't like what he saw. I think we're going to have Ryan Van Hess back in the ball game soon.
Josiah Lake at the basket. Mike McShane running the show for the Saxons. Gets it inside to Green, misses the shot, rebound by Harrison. That appeared to be a foul, Harv.
That one they had to call, John. That one they had to call.
Foul was on Scott Putnam. Scott was a defensive back for the Royal Scots football team, and we've talked about this before. Lots of athletes in the Salem Kaiser schools are multi-sport athletes.
Well, I still really believe in that concept, John. I know there are coaches that try to promote the kids to concentrate on one sport, but doggone it, there's just too many opportunities out there for these kids, and they ought to be allowed to take advantage of them.
Jeff Harrison takes advantage of the foul, sinking the first free throw. Comes up short on the second. Green with the rebound. Too strong again. Green just towers over everybody. The ball is knocked away, and McKay comes up with it. Stover thinks about it, bounces it off of Green's foot.
Kind of a frustration move. Didn't know what else to do with it under there.
2 minutes, 22 seconds to go. Our score, the South Salem Saxons 28 and the McKay Royal Scots 22, and Jeff Harrison getting a nice round of applause.
Well, he gave him some quality minutes in there, John. He really did.
Out to Aguilar, loses the handle but gets it back. McKay Royal Scots looking for that good shot. Lake is going to take it. And a blocking foul on Ross Wagner. That will send Josiah Lake to the free throw line, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter.
Yes, he is. Well, they'd like to get these 2 free throws here, John, and be back in this thing.
Josiah Lake gets the friendly roll.
Sure did.
And too strong. Carlson with the rebound. Gets it back to Mike McShane.
Yeah, South looks like it wants to take its time a little bit on this shot.
Inside to Thalo.
He's just dominant in there tonight, John. McKay can't contend with him.
Two fouls on John Stover. 1 minute 44 seconds to go. And Green at the free throw line. Thalo coming off a 21-point game in the victory over West Albany.
Well, he's going to be in the 20s again tonight, John, at this rate.
And we still have not seen Jeff Rice back into the ball game, so we'll see if we can find out maybe at halftime what happened.
I look to me to be an ankle, John. I would guess it might be a severe sprain.
Inside to Stover, he travels.
Yeah, if McKay is vulnerable at all to a team like the Saxons, when you really look at it, they don't have a true, real big post man. I mean, John Stover is a very decent ball player, but he gives away 3 or 4 inches to a player like Green.
Cross court over to Wagner for 3. Off the iron, Wagner gets the rebound.
Followed the shot, one of the basics in basketball.
And the Saxons will start over. They're going to wait for the McKay Royal Scots to come out and guard them.
I think we saw McNary do this once this year.
And the reaction from the crowd was about the same.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to see people standing around at the midcourt line.
No, especially if it's the home team.
35 seconds to go in the first half. And Mike McShane getting a little dribbling practice. I don't think he really needs it.
No, I'd say not.
19 seconds to go. Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the CCTV halftime report, and McShane starts to move as the clock is inside 10 seconds. McShane with a jumper, that'll be short. Rebounded by Carlson. Carlson can't get it to go. And the Saxons unable to score. Our score at halftime, the South Salem Saxons 30 and the McKay Royal Scots 23. Stay tuned, the CCTV halftime report is coming up next. Valley League wrestlers are getting ready for the district meet on February 25th. Tonight we continue our series on the Salem Kaiser teams with a look at the McKay Royal Scots.
Our wrestling team is wrestling, I think, really well right now. Things are really looking up for us after, I think, a disappointing start of our season. We're currently 4-3 in league, and we won a couple tournaments, and a couple weeks ago we placed 3rd in a 17-team Willamette tournament. So I think things are looking pretty good for us right now.
Who are some of the wrestlers that have been having especially good seasons for McKay?
We've had, I think, several kids have really good years for us. Fred Burning, he's 10-3 right now. Don Cole wrestles 215. He's 19-7. Andy Fry, who won the Willamette tournament, is 16-4. Matt Dickerson wrestles 185 pounds. He's 19-2. Wes Emmons is 22-3. He's leading our team in team points. And Scotty Boda wrestles 142 for us. He's currently 25-0, and he also won the Willamette tournament.
How do you see the district wrestling meet?
I think it's going to be a real mess or a real fight. I believe there's maybe 5 or 6 teams that could win that tournament. Sprague, I think, appears to maybe be a front runner, but McNary will figure in there, West Albany, Crescent Valley, North Salem, and I think us. But it's going to be a dogfight.
Now let's take a look at the Valley League standings. In boys play, South Salem is in first place with a 12-1 record. McNary is in second place at 10-3, followed by Sprague at 9-4, Corvallis, South Albany, and McKay at 7-6, Crescent Valley at 5-8, West Albany at 4-9, North Salem at 3-10, and Lebanon at 1-12. In Valley League girls play, Crescent Valley has a perfect 16-0 record. Corvallis is 14-2, followed by Sprague at 12-4, South Salem at 11-5, Lebanon and McNary at 7-9, North Salem and South Albany at 5-11, West Albany at 3-13, and McKay at 0-16. Each week, the Salem Sports and Breakfast Club selects a male and female athlete of the week. Let's meet some recent winners. Salem Academy basketball player Alyssa Dunn was recognized at the club's meeting on February 3rd. She scored 19 points in a win over Santiam, 19 points in a win over Colton, and 18 points in a win over East Lynn Christian. North Salem wrestler Brad Galetas also was honored at the February 3rd meeting. Galetas improved his record to 17-1 with a first-place finish at the Lebanon tournament. At its February 10th meeting, the club recognized North Salem basketball player Cameron Suter. She averaged 15.5 points and 9 rebounds in 2 games last week. The club also recognized South Salem swimmer Jason Wright. He had 2 individual wins and anchored the Saxons' first-place 200-yard freestyle relay in an 86-83 victory over McNary. Wright won the 50 and 100 freestyle races. Several Salem Kaiser High School seniors will play in the Oregon Shrine Bowl, to be held July 22nd at Parker Stadium in Corvallis. Members of the South team include Brandon Folkert, McKay running back, Aaron Cook, McNary lineman, Evan Wygant, South Salem running back and defensive back, Brian Lathan, Sprague defensive back and wide receiver, and John Weiland, Sprague lineman. Sprague coach Robin Hill will be an assistant for the South team. Alternates chosen for the South squad include Kevin Scher and David Fischel of McKay, Tyler Roman of McNary, Adam Velutini of North Salem, Justin Ulrich of South Salem, and Kevin Edwards and Dean Pullman of Sprague. Here's a program reminder from CCTV. The Valley League Swimming Championships were held in Corvallis February 11th. You can watch the meet at noon on Sunday, February 19th. CCTV also will televise the Valley League Wrestling Championships. The consolation matches will be shown at noon on Sunday, February 26th, and at 4 p.m. on Saturday, March 4th. The final matches will be shown at noon on Sunday, March 5th, and at 4 p.m. on Saturday, March 11th. And we are back at South Salem High School. Our halftime score, the South Salem Saxons 30 and the McKay Royal Scots 23. And I'm talking with Joe Petro, the high school sports editor at the Statesman Journal. Joe, your thoughts on the ball game so far?
It's a little low scoring than I thought it might be. I thought South Salem might be able to pick up the pace more than it did in the first game. I figured that South was going to come ready to play this time. I think the first time against McKay, the Royal Scots may have caught them by surprise. I didn't figure that would happen again. I don't think it has. I did think, though, that there might be a little more scoring up to this point. So in that regard, maybe McKay is still controlling the pace of the game somewhat.
Let's talk a little bit about the Valley League race for the playoffs. The Saxons on top at number 1, McNary at number 2. Can the McNary Celtics catch up?
Well, yeah, obviously they get to play South again at McNary. And if you remember what happened there last year, it ain't over till it's over. And that's when McNary beat him at the buzzer. And you know, anything can happen. I do think that McNary right now is kind of in a slump offensively. And for them to beat South Salem, they're going to have to snap out of that slump.
The South Salem Saxons, some outstanding individual talent. Thalo Green, Jeff Rice, Mike McShane, but after that, they don't have a whole lot of depth.
Well, I disagree. You know, if you look at the other benches around the league, I think South Salem's bench is probably just as good or better than most. And it's true that they have some real good key players, but it doesn't drop off that much.
Let's talk a little bit about the other Salem Kaiser teams. A tough year for the North Salem Vikings this year.
Yeah, they've had some tough losses, and they had the big win last week, of course. And I think with North, you know, it all starts in the middle, and what do they start, like a 6-3 post, and they just don't have the physical the size to match up with a lot of teams in the Valley League. It's a good league this year.
The Sprague Olympians hoping to get into the playoffs for the first time in quite a few years.
Yeah, and they have a good shot. I think they have so many different talented players, you know, Lathan and Peck and Gow, and you can just keep going down the list. And that's what's going to help them when we get down to 3 or 4 games left, when they can go to their bench, and they don't lose hardly anything when they go to their bench.
How about the McKay Royal Scots? They're just really a hard-working team, and they've surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think Steve Maston has a lot to do with that, and the system he runs, very controlled. I think a lot of the players struggled a little bit because they weren't used to the system, and you know, he runs a kind of a tight ship, and if you go into the game and don't do what he wants, and you're back next to him on the bench real fast, and I think he showed, though, in the last couple of years that it does work.
All right, Joe, your predictions, the playoff teams for the Valley League.
Let's go South, not in any order. South, McNary, Sprague, and we'll go Corvallis.
You like Corvallis? They've got a pretty good team down there.
A lot of height, a lot of talent. Sometimes I question the attitude, but they have a good bunch of kids down there.
You just got back from the district swimming meet. How are things going down there?
It's wet and wild down there. and be sure to watch that on CCTV. I understand that you'll be down doing the finals.
The CCTV will be there for all the excitement. So thanks for joining me, Joe. Always look forward to reading your column and your stories, and appreciate all your help over the years.
Thanks, John.
All right, that's Joe Petcho, high school sports editor, and Harv will be back with our first half statistics right after these messages from our sponsors. Partial funding for tonight's program is provided by your friends at Round Table Pizza. Get real, get Round Table at 2 convenient locations in Salem. Partial funding also provided by G.I. Joe's. G.I. Joe's, the sports and auto store, also with 2 convenient locations in Salem.
Harv Shabothy and John Piper back with you here at South Salem. John, a little bit out of breath, having run up from the floor, but we've had an interesting first half between the South Salem Saxons and the McKay Royal Scots, 2 teams battling out for playoff spots in the Valley League. The first half dominated inside by Thalo Green. Thalo with 10 points. Troy Hammer, another big game inside, 7 points for Troy. Saxons, a lot of players with picking up individual fouls, but fortunately they're spread well throughout the team, so no one in foul trouble. McKay had a strong first half from Josiah Lake. Josiah with 7 points. Danny Aguilar, their little playmaker, distributed the ball well, but we expected a little bit more from Danny. He's only got 2 so far. Eric Elwood is in foul trouble for McKay. Had to sit out much of the first half with only 3 points. As we look at the statistics, free throw shooting excellent for both ball teams. 7 for 10 for McKay, 10 for 13 free throws. So as far as the Saxons are concerned, big difference in amount of shots put up. South Salem with 29 shots to McKay's 14. Outshot him 2-1. A lot of that was the offensive rebound that they were getting. John, as I look at it, McKay was 8 for 14. If they can get a few more shots up.
They're shooting the ball well, but they just don't put that many shots up, and there's the first foul on Scott Putnam. And for the South Salem Saxons, Jeff Rice is back into the ball game. Left the ball game in the second period. Looked like he might have sprained an ankle, but he is on the floor, and we'll see how he performs.
He came out here early, and right at the halftime break, it came out before the other players did and was testing it, and he looked pretty good.
Inside to Rice. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Josiah Lake.
Now he's grabbing a thumb, it looks like.
May not be his night tonight.
No, he's sitting here with only 2 points.
Rice tries to lob it to McShane, but lobs it too far. McShane chases it down. The Saxons leading by 7. Meinert also back into the ball game. He had some foul trouble in that first half.
Jeff's calling to Coach Adams. It looks like he wants to come out, and I don't think Barry sees it. Looks like he's jammed that thumb.
Meinert with a jumper off the iron, chased down by Josiah Lake. And ahead to Van Hess, misses the shot. Putnam gets the rebound and he's bumped. And it looks like Thalo Green.
Scott Putnam's played a real good ball game. Lots of hustle. He's attacking those boards.
The third foul on Thalo Green. Less than a minute gone in the second half, and Scott Putnam at the line.
Thalo's been real dominant under there. I don't think Coach Adams wants another quick foul from him.
Putnam with 2 free throws, a 5-point ball game. 7 minutes, 6 seconds to go. South Salem 30 and McKay 25. John Piper along with Harv Shabothi. We're at South Salem High School on Capital Community Television.
This could get interesting if Thalo picks up another foul, and they got foul trouble here, and if we continue with the situation of Jeff Rice being gimpy, this could turn out to be a real interesting one before we're through. Jeff is definitely grabbing his thumb.
Mike McShane covered by Putnam. Inside to Thalo. Thalo loses the basketball. Lake comes up with it. And Aguilar brings it up quickly. Aguilar going to have to bring it back out.
He's had a little trouble with his footing tonight, John. Almost tripped again going inside.
Aguilar with a little jump shot, too short. And ball's on the floor. Aguilar gets it and tosses it out of bounds. Tried to get it over to Lake. Danny Aguilar not afraid to go in there with the big boys.
No, he's sure not. Of course, at his size, he has to do that, John.
Everybody's bigger.
Yes.
Inside to Green, and he is fouled. It will be on Stover, I believe. Third foul on Stover. And Thalo Green back to the line.
We need to watch Thalo on defense and Stover on defense now. Both have 3, and both are key to their team's fortunes inside.
Thalo well short on the first free throw. And gets the second. Into the ball game for McKay is number 50, Sean Lemons. And John Stover is going to have to come out of the ball game after picking up his third foul.
This is the first time we've seen Lemons tonight. He has played quite a bit for the Scots this year, but this is a key time.
And a foul on Thalo Green. I didn't see what he did. That's number 4.
Well, we talked about the foul situation. Coach Maston wisely pulled his player with 3 fouls out. Barry decided to run with Thalo, and now all of a sudden we've got 4 fouls.
Paul Richter, number 50, in for Thalo Green. And somebody on that Saxon team is going to have to step it up. Nice drive by Lake. And Putnam gets it back and in the bucket.
Yeah, they're not in a good situation right now. They've got Jeff Rice playing hurt. Thalo's down with fouls. McShane's going to have to step up, and Meinert, who is an excellent role ball player, he's another ball player that I expect to step up right now.
Putnam saved the fast break opportunity for the Saxons. And bodies on the floor. A foul on 32, Josiah Lake. And that's the third on Josiah.
Here's another ball player that McKay can't afford to lose.
Jeff Rice off the iron, rebounded by Hammer, misses the shot. Richter get it. It's knocked away. And the South Salem crowd is becoming quite irate at some of the physical contact that's being allowed inside.
Well, I think what they're most irate about, it seems like their players are picking up the ticky-tack fouls at the other end, and they feel their players are getting hammered, and there's no whistles at all.
Mike McShane with the bucket on the inbounds pass. He'll go to the line.
And a little bit of a cheer from the South Salem foul. Faithful with when that whistle blew.
Foul on number 22, Danny Aguilar.
First on Danny.
Mike McShane gets the roll. Aguilar brings it back out, being guarded by Ian Meinert. McShane guarding Putnam. And Brian Saucer, number 14, seeing his first action. Knocked away by McShane. And a nice spin, tries to lay it in, misses the shot. And a foul is called on Richter, and Barry Adams banging his clipboard on his head. Three on Richter.
Barry is beside himself.
I don't think there's any love lost between Barry and certain officials in this league.
Well, he's already had one long conversation with Chuck Peterson tonight.
And a steal by Richter. Meinert comes up with the ball.
South Salem continues to play excellent defense.
And Rice and McShane run into each other. Cross court to Meinert for three. That'll be short. Putnam with the rebound. And takes it all away. Scott Putnam is really playing outstanding basketball tonight.
He's got 10 points. He's played real well.
McShane to the basket the other way. Mike McShane is going to have to be the guy, I think, Harv, that takes over this ball game.
He's stepping up. He's stepping up. And doing what I think most people in this league anticipate, that Mike McShane can be a big-time scorer. He doesn't have to be with Rice and Taylor Green out there, but he's showing tonight that he definitely can be.
A 5-second violation called against McKay. Our score with 3 minutes 37 seconds left in the third period. South Salem 36 and McKay 29.
Coach Maston, unhappy with the offensive flow, has made 3 quick substitutions here, including John Stover playing with 3 fouls. Well, in fact, Eric Elwood's back in also with 3.
Thalo Green is out of the ball game with 4 fouls. The Saxons get a break there, almost lose it. McShane gets it over to Rice for the basket. Almost a steal by Hammer. And the ball goes out of bounds off of Stover. They give it to McKay. Okay.
Kevin Phillips is certainly endearing himself to the coaches, and in fact, he's asking them both to sit down.
And the Saxons with a 9-point lead. And a blocking foul is called on Richter, and that's number 4 on Richter.
Things are getting real interesting here. South Salem fans not happy with this officiating crew. But McKay, I'm sorry, not really taking advantage of this. They're down by 9 despite
Aguilar can't get it to go. The ball is loose.
John Stover, number 4.
And Stover picks up his 4th foul on the loose ball. And
We're going to see some boys sitting down tonight before this one's through, John. We're sitting here with the rate these fouls are being called. We may have 3 or 4 players fouling out of this ball game.
I think one of the fans here suggested the referees would be better off working at Foot Locker. 2 minutes, 18 seconds to go. South Salem 38, McKay 29, and the Saxons going to take some more time off the clock.
You know, I think I've seen these 2 guys down at the Foot Locker. McKay's going to have to do something here. They're going to have to press the action. They can't afford to let South sit on the ball with a 9-point lead.
And the blocking foul.
And now the McKay fans aren't happy.
That's Sean Lemons with his first foul. And a timeout. Our score with 1 minute. Well, not a timeout. Our score, South Salem 38, McKay 29, 1 minute 47 seconds to go. And Hammer can't get it to go, rebounded by Carlson. He tries to put it up.
The 4th foul on Elwood.
And Kyle Carlson, boy, when he gets that basketball, he goes right back up.
What's the Valley League record for most players fouled out of a ball game, John?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Harry Pease.
Harry would know.
Carlson with 2 shots.
We've got 3 players with 4 fouls, and can't tell you how many with 3. Let me count them up.
Carlson gets 1 for 2. And McKay will have the basketball.
A real fine defensive effort so far from the South Salem Saxons.
Adam Maston with the basketball, being guarded by Ian Meinert.
Ian playing real fine defense. As are all the Saxons, as I mentioned. They're really playing well.
Josiah Lake will take it all the way, scoop to the hoop, and gets the bounce. And boy, I've liked him in every game we've covered, Harv.
Yeah, he is just an excellent looking athlete. And now
Aguilar is called for the foul.
As I indicated, we've got the McKay fans not happy. I'm not sure there's anybody happy, at least with the officials tonight.
And that will send Mike McShane to the free throw line. McKay already over the limit with 1 minute to go in the 3rd period.
Once again, the officials asked Coach Adams to sit down.
Mike McShane with the free throw, and Capital Community Television was there when the Saxons defeated the Sprague Olympians earlier this year, and Mike McShane with the key free throws down the stretch.
I think we have a fan being asked to leave by the officials.
We can't really tell what's happening, but there are many people unhappy with tonight's officiating. McShane with 1 for 2. A foul on Mike McShane. I don't know. We'll have to call Harry Pease after the game and find out what the record is.
Yeah, well, there hasn't been anybody sitting down yet. Maybe we'll have a situation where everybody has 4 fouls by the time we're through.
5th team foul on the Saxons. McKay is already over the limit. And McKay needs to get something going towards the basket.
Yeah, they're down by 9.
Lobbed inside to Lake, and Minard comes up with the ball.
Minard playing excellent defense again.
McKay Royal Scots trying desperately to get a hold of the basketball. Minard all the way to the basket. He's fouled, and that's Elwood, I believe.
And I believe that's 5 if it's on Elwood.
5 fouls on Eric Elwood.
And we have 1 down.
See how many players on a team? And apparently a fan has been asked to leave the ball game. As Minard converts the free throw. The Saxons with a 10-point lead as we near the end of the 3rd period. Minard makes it an 11-point lead.
Yes, Minard and McShane stepped up for the Saxons. McKay would like to cut it down to less than double digits, but they only got 3 seconds.
The jumper by Aguilar comes up short. And our score after 3 periods, the South Salem Saxons 42 and the McKay Royal Scots 31. And the Saxons able to pull away in that 3rd period without Thalo Green.
Yes, they did, and with Rice playing hurt, it was one of those kinds of situations you would have thought that McKay could have cut the gap. If instead, with McShane leading the way, the Saxons pulled away. McKay actually didn't get much going on offense at all, with the exception of Scott Putnam. Scott Putnam had an excellent quarter, got 6 points, but unfortunately the team got 8.
McKay only able to come up with 8 points in that period. The Saxons with 12, so McKay unable to make up any ground, actually lost some ground from halftime. And we are glad you could join us once again on Capital Community Television's Game of the Week. Be sure to stay with us for the rest of the Valley League season. We'll be at South Salem High School next week as the Sprague Olympians come to town. And then our final high school ball game of the year will be South Salem at McNary.
Well, those two, when they played the first time, it was down here and a 2-point ball game. They could very well be playing for first place at that point in the season.
And the ball is loose. McShane unable to control it. And McKay is going to have to put some points on the board fairly quickly here.
Yes, they are. And actually, they didn't really intend to run with the Saxons tonight, but now with this point differential being what it is, they almost have to.
One of the problems of the McKay Royal Scots and very deliberate teams such as McNary, when they're down, they have a hard time catching up. And the Scots turn it over. Putnam unable to handle the pass, but he has played a fine game tonight.
Yes, he has. Jeff Harrison back in the ball game. Remember, he gave the Saxons some quality minutes early in the first half.
Inside to Jeff Rice, can't get it to go, and this is not his night.
No.
Aguilar to Lake, misses the shot, rebounded by Carlson. Ahead to Jeff Rice, the spin move and the basket. And I don't think his ankle's bothering him too much, Arv.
No, I'm not sure about the thumb, though. He kind of keeps reaching down for that hand when he has the opportunity.
And a timeout for McKay. Our score with 6 minutes, 54 seconds to go. South Salem 44 and McKay 31. And the Saxons looking to take over tonight's basketball game and put it in the win column.
Well, they look like they're well on their way to doing that. Their defense has been the real key for them tonight, John. McKay really hasn't been able to unwind here in the second half, and despite foul trouble, injury trouble on the part of the Saxons. They're actually pulling away. It's really through that fine defense that they're playing.
The South Salem Saxons, always one of the top teams in the Valley League since Barry Adams has been here. The winningest high school basketball coach in the state.
You bet. Barry's, wherever Barry has been, he's put together contender after contender, whether it's a small school like Nissa or whether he's up in the Portland metro area. Everywhere he's gone, the man has been successful. He relates to the kids so well. The kids love playing for a gentleman like Barry Adams.
And the McKay Royal Scots inbound the basketball. 6 minutes, 52 seconds to go. They need some points, and they need them now. Aguilar with a jumper, yes. Danny Aguilar having an outstanding year.
That's only 4 points for him tonight, though, and Danny really has to start stepping up from a scoring standpoint.
Rice loses the basketball, gets it back. He's going to be charged with the offensive foul. And a technical foul is called on Jeff Rice after he throws the basketball a little bit too hard at Chuck Peterson. And a frustrating night for Jeff Rice.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you saw there. Frustration, and you got to control that, John. You got to control that. You're too important to your ball team to let that happen to you.
Going to the line for the McKay Royal Scots is Josiah Lake. And the referees conferring now to see how many shots. And that was the 7th team foul. Does that mean he gets a 1-and-1 and then he gets 2 technicals, Harv?
I think that's what they're calling here, John. Oh, now they indicate they're shooting 2.
So 2 shots for Josiah Lake. That was the 4th foul on Jeff Rice. He has not been a factor tonight.
No, he picked up 2 fouls in the same play.
Lake sinks 2 free throws, making it a 9-point ball game. South Salem 44 and McKay 35. 6 minutes, 16 seconds to go.
Well, now's the time McKay has to go. They've got Rice out of the ball game. They've got Green out of the ball game, both with 4 fouls. They have to take advantage of this right now, John.
And Stover will be called for the foul, and he is out of the ball game as well.
2 down.
John Stover just kind of standing there, taking his time. And Sean Lemons will be coming in for the McKay Royal Scots. And a frustrating night also for John Stover.
Yes, very much so. And Barry Adams is now going to take the chance. He's going to try to salt this game away, bringing in Thalo with 4 fouls. I think he feels with Stover out of the ball game, this is an opportunity with Thalo on the offense, a chance to score real quickly and wrap this one up.
Meinert with the first free throw. And Jeff Rice is re-entering the basketball game.
Yeah, I think Barry's trying to put it away right here.
Meinert with 1 more shot can give the Saxons an 11-point lead. And he does.
Look for Danny Aguilar to try to take this thing over.
Lake to the basket, misses the shot. And a scramble for the basketball. And it looks like Mike McShane is going to be called for the foul. 4 on McShane.
Well, I tell you,
And that sends Josiah Lake back to the free throw line.
You got 4 for McShane, 4 for Rice, 4 for Green, 4 for Paul Richter.
The McKay Royal Scots making up some ground at the free throw line.
Still down by 9 though with 5:54 left.
Inside to McShane, left all alone. The pass from Thalo Green.
Real fine ball handling.
And I'm not sure what happened there.
Now they're I'm not sure either.
Aguilar, what a move. Oh, put that on the highlight film.
Only 6 for Danny, but they're spectacular when he does it. Like I said, I expect him to step up now. The score being what it is, I think he's going to try to carry the Scots by himself. He and Lake, watch for the 2 of them.
Mike McShane count the basket, the foul on Ryan Van Hess. And it is Mike McShane's ball game.
Yes, it is. Somebody had to step up, and he's done that.
Second foul on Van Hess, and to the free throw line will go Mike McShane. Well, it certainly has been an unusual night tonight, Harv, with lots of fouls, lots of frustrations, but the Saxons sitting on an 11-point lead.
Yeah, they've played excellent defense throughout, despite the foul calls. And it is easy, as you say, for the athletes when games get called like this to get frustrated and for the game to kind of get out of hand. Boy, you got Aguilar just got slapped on the face there.
Aguilar with a jumper will be short, rebounded by Green. Ahead to Rice. Rice to the basket. And the South Salem Saxons taking advantage of the running opportunities and doing a great job of it. A timeout for the McKay Royal Scots. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go. Our score, South Salem 53 and McKay 39. And you have to be impressed with the way the South Salem Saxons get that ball up the court and into the basket.
You really do, and this game is kind of a big one for the South Salem Pride. You know, they've only lost 1 game in the league, and in fact, we keep saying they've only lost to 1 team in Oregon. Out of their 3 losses, 2 of those were in that tournament down in California. This was important to them because the only loss has been to this McKay team, and so I think not only is it important in terms of the Valley League standings, but they really did want to win this one from a personal pride standpoint. Call it revenge, whatever. It's an important game for them.
It was back in January that the McKay Royal Scots gave the Saxons their only league loss, 61-57 in overtime. Tonight is payback.
Yeah. Coach Adams actually said the loss was good for his team. And I talked to him before the ball game about this ball game tonight. He said they gave us a wake-up call, and we needed it at the time. Are the fans supposed to refrain until the athletes leave or the referees? I didn't get that, John.
He said athletes.
Yeah.
Thalo Green guarding Adam Maston.
And the Saxons still playing tough D.
3-point attempt by Lake. He's fouled by Mike McShane, and that's all for Mike McShane. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go.
3 down, 10 to go.
And not a good foul for McShane. That was a tough shot that Lake was going to put up.
Yes, it was.
And Coach Adams is going to go with David Miller, number 10, 5'11" junior. Miller really had a tough game the last time McShane had to go out of the ball game with fouls.
Yeah, McShane's an important part of this team. We've talked about it all night long. The offense doesn't run nearly as fluidly when McShane has to set.
Josiah Lake back at the line. And he has been there a lot tonight and done a good job. And that was a three-point attempt, so he'll get 3 tries. He's made 2 already. And number 3.
Yeah, he's got 10 points from the free throw line alone tonight. You're right, he's been there a lot.
The foul is called on Danny Aguilar. And that will send David Miller to the free throw line.
We got 3 fouls on Aguilar.
Miller's first free throw attempts of the night. Misses a shot, rebounded by Rice, and a foul on Scott Putnam.
That's only 3 on Putnam, I think. 4, I'm sorry.
That will send Jeff Rice to the free throw line for 1-and-1.
A fine rebound by Jeff, by the way. Got good position, got off the ground.
Jeff Rice, a very good free throw shooter. Rice with 2. It's back up to a 13-point lead. 4 minutes and 1 second to go. The Saxons 55, McKay 42.
Time running out for the Scots.
Ball is knocked away. Green comes up with it. I think Meinert got a hand on it. Saxons passing the basketball around, looking for that open man. Inside to Green, you can't get much more open than that.
No, you can't. They rotated well. The passing was crisp.
Well, the McKay Royal Scots are probably going to lose tonight's ball game, but they deserve a lot of credit. They've played hard.
They've come a long way, and you know, I think this is probably the first game this year they've really been blown out. When they've lost before, they've been very, very close contests. But
and McKay with 2 points.
Four fouls now on Danny Aguilar.
And I just don't know, Harv, what to say.
No.
Let the boys play some basketball.
It would be nice. Well, a frustrating night for McKay, but this team has got some resiliency and lots of youth. We've talked about it before. Most of these kids will be back next year, and with the kind of experience that they gained this year and the way they play together, I really expect a lot of good things from McKay High School next year.
David Miller with 2 free throws. Aguilar all the way with the left hand.
Aguilar all the way home for 2.
Danny Aguilar with the foul.
And Danny Aguilar will now sit down. 4 down.
The 5th foul on Aguilar, so 4 players have taken their seats on the bench.
Eric Elwood with 4 fouls comes in replacing Danny Aguilar.
And the McKay fans giving Danny Aguilar a big hand. He really played hard tonight. And a timeout for South Salem.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night long. Aguilar's a fine young ball player, only a sophomore. Does so much athletically and for his team to make up for his lack of size. Like I said, if he's not all league by the time he's a junior, he will be by the time he's a senior.
And that timeout was actually McKay timeout. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Our score, South Salem 59 and McKay 46. The South Salem Saxons will retain their position as the #1 team in the Valley League, giving them a 13-1 record with 4 games left to go.
Well, you have to be impressed with South Salem tonight, John. The things that weren't running real smoothly for them either. There were foul trouble for Green. They had players hurt. But they had other kids step up, and that defense never broke down. The defense was strong from the beginning of the game. It's still strong now at this point of the ball game, and the defense really won it for them tonight.
Well, there's a sign that hangs in the rafters at South Salem High School, the Doomsday Defense, and that's one of the things that Barry Adams stresses over and over.
Yes.
South Salem with some outstanding offensive players, but defense is also a strong suit.
Yeah, and often overlooked when people talk about this team.
David Miller back at the line, sinks one more. Too strong off the iron, rebound by Elwood. And Lake takes it all the way to the basket. He's fouled out front.
David Miller, I believe.
David Miller is charged with the foul.
First foul on David.
And Josiah Lake with an opportunity to pad his free throw statistics, but it's really too little too late.
He's definitely padding him. He's making him, John, when he's had the opportunity at that line.
Two more for Josiah Lake. And a foul on Adam Maston. The McKay Royal Scots really not much choice now.
No.
2 minutes, 13 seconds to go, and they are down by 12.
I think we'll start seeing the three-point attempts going up, John.
And there is Coach Barry Adams. The game ain't over till it's over. Barry is always coaching. Minard at the line. In and out. But Hammer gets the loose basketball. He misses. Lake with a rebound. Gets it over to Maston. Maston for three. Yeah.
Got it.
And an offensive foul on Jeff Rice. Maston stepped in his way and then fell down.
5 down.
The 5th foul on Jeff Rice, and it's probably just as well. 1 minute, 56 seconds to go. Our score, South Salem 60 and McKay 51. So a 9-point ball game. And Mike McShane is fouled out for South Salem. Jeff Rice is fouled out. Thalo Green has 4 fouls. Their top 3 players, 2 of them are on the bench in the critical minute.
Well, unfortunately for McKay, they've already lost Aguilar, Elwood, and Stover. 2 of 3 really of their starting 5. So it's a situation where there's little time left, and unfortunately most of their starters are already sitting down.
And Adam Maston will be going to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Well, this last few minutes may indeed become the Adam Maston show. He is an excellent 3-point shooter, and that's about the only chance McKay has right now. On the other hand, expect South to be looking for that too.
Well, he doesn't go to the line. Lake takes it to the basket. He's fouled David Miller. And let's see how long it takes to play this last 1 minute and 48 seconds.
David Miller only has 2 fouls, but the way this game's going tonight, John, he may be in foul trouble too. There's enough time for him to pick up 3 fouls.
Josiah Lake in his normal position at the free throw line.
Yeah, we've seen him there a lot tonight. Let me count him up again. I think he's got 12 from there. I have him at 1 miss.
Lake can make it a 7-point ball game. And he does. Eric Elwood is, what, player number 6 who's fouled out?
Scott foul is on 24. Eric Elwood. Next 5 on Elwood.
Well, they must be getting paid by the foul.
Yeah. Well, Scott Putnam's still in the ball game with 4 fouls, so there's still a chance they'll lose another one.
David Miller at the line. Miller, a 5'11" junior.
I believe the public address announcer said that Josiah Lake was 13 out of 13, so maybe he didn't miss one tonight. I had him down as having done so.
Miller with 2 more free throws. Saxons leading by 9.
Miller hitting 5 and 6 this quarter.
Maston for 3, off the iron. Rebound by Thalo Green. He just yanks it out of the air. And a foul on Ryan Van Hess will send Kyle Carlson to the line. Carlson, a pretty good free throw shooter too.
Yes, he is.
Saxon on the strike. Number 14, Kyle Carlson.
1-on-1 opportunity for Kyle Carlson. Gets it to stay. He'll have 1 more. Off the iron, rebound by Meinert. Meinert takes it back in. He's fouled Scott Putnam. Correction, the foul is called on number 52, Corey Folkert. Meinert sinks the first free throw.
Meinert, in his own quiet, workmanlike way, playing a very, very solid game for the Saxons tonight.
2 free throws for Meinert, 6 of 7 during the game. Maston for 3, off the iron, rebounded, knocked away by Green, but Carlson gets it. And an intentional foul.
And the 5th.
On Scott Putnam.
6 are down.
Well, we've had just about every type of foul tonight, so it's only fitting that we finish the ball game with that one. And the South Salem Pep Band is definitely livening things up tonight.
Well, they're trying to put something back in this ball game.
Not exactly my kind of music, Harv.
Hey, I kind of like it, Chad.
You're much younger than I am.
Oh, not really.
And Carlson with another free throw attempt.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we had a contest for the noisiest band in the league between this group here and McNary, it'd be very, very close.
And South Salem gets the basketball back. They are up by 14, 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. And guess what? Another foul.
Well, that's only 4 on Van Hess. He's still in the ball game.
Can't we put this game out of its misery?
We'd have to take the whistles away.
Back to the line is David Miller, and it's been a good opportunity for him to get in a little free throw shooting practice.
Yeah, I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 6. Actually, the free throw shooting's been excellent tonight, both teams.
Miller with 2 more free throws. Lake for 3, off the iron, and a rebound comes back to Maston, and he puts it back in the bucket. Foul on Stoneman.
At first.
Well, he hasn't been in there long enough.
Okay, I understand that.
Ian Minert back to the free throw line.
Ian Minert should have won and
8 points for Ian. Ian's got 7 out of 8 from the line. Excellent free throw shooting, really, both teams.
Back into the ball game for the Royal Scots is number 14, Brian Saucer. And Minert with 2 more free throws. Saucer with a drive, and he is hammered. David Miller. Brian got the old sandwich between the 2 Saxons. And Brian, another one of those 2-sport athletes. Quarterback on the football team this year.
A very good one. I believe he's got an appointment from to the Naval Academy?
I think it's the Naval Academy. Brian gets in the scoring column with a free throw. And too strong on the second, but everybody lets Stoneman get the basketball. And now what? Thalo Green has fouled out of the basketball game.
7 down. We do need to call Harry.
I think we need a 3-man announcing team so I can have one person just to watch the officials. Unbelievable. Ryan Van Hess at the line.
I'm going to ask the guys in the radio here for the Valley League record in terms of most guys fouling out in one ball game.
KCCS Radio is covering tonight's ball game, as is Joe Petcho from the Statesman Journal, our halftime guest. Van Hess with a free throw. And Van Hess gives the Royal Scots 2 more points. And Josiah Lake is fouled.
I think that's 4 on him. Well, there's still enough time for Josiah to become the 5th Scot to sit down. Yeah, they got Van Hess also with 4. There's a chance there. They could lose 2 more.
Kyle Carlson at the line.
.38 seconds to go. That means we'll be here another 20 minutes, John.
Kyle Carlson with some good free throw shooting. 3-point attempt by Saucer, yes.
Right.
And where has Brian Saucer been?
On the bench, unfortunately.
Minert gets it over to Miller. Back out to Minert. Troy Hammer all the way to the bucket, and an offensive foul on Troy Hammer. It's a 10-point ball game with 5 seconds to go. Lake all the way to the basket, and he scores. Josiah Lake with the drive to the basket makes our final score. The South Salem Saxons 73 and the McKay Royal Scots 65. Stay tuned. The CCTV postgame report is coming up next. Partial funding for tonight's program was provided by your friends at Round Table Pizza. Get real, get Round Table at 2 convenient locations in Salem. Partial funding also provided by G.I. Joe's. G.I. Joe's, the sports and auto store, also with 2 convenient locations in Salem. And I'm with South Salem coach Barry Adams. Coach, a win for you tonight. Not a very pretty game, especially with all those fouls.
No, it was an officials ball game tonight, John. It was totally theirs, and I don't think either team had a lot of impact on it. And those guys never are, you know, but it was hard fought, and gosh, McKay came after us, and they really worked hard and did a nice job, and kept themselves in a ball game, and you really have to hand it to them for doing that at our place.
Well, I agree with you completely, McKay. Clearly you had the size advantage. You had a little more experience than they did, but they came into your gym and they gave you a real tough battle.
Yeah, I don't think we have more experience than they have. We have 1 starter back from last year, and they've got 2.5 or 3. And that's I wouldn't count that as being more experienced, and I think they're quicker than we are, certainly. And you know, so there's always matchups 2 ways, and you can't look at the game of basketball as being a tall kid's game, you know. And we've got a lot of pretty good size, but we've also got a lot of fairly slow kids, and there's lots of places that doesn't fit very well, you know, and there's some places where it does, and you know, and I think it was certainly a Donnybrook and a battle, and like I say, it's too bad that perhaps the kids didn't get a chance to settle it tonight, because I don't think the kids particularly did.
What did you like about the Saxons' play tonight?
Well, I particularly liked, you know, with all the foul trouble that both of us had, we had some kids step in that hadn't been in a lot of big-time minute situations, and did a nice job towards the end protecting the lead and hitting the free throws, and we were tough at that line down the stretch, and we needed to be. And you know, so I thought we got some very good things out of some kids that, again, and this time of year, you know, everybody's a veteran. There's no such thing as a new kid anyhow, and so you would hope 17 games into the season, or 16 games into their, whatever it is, 18, I guess now, into the season, that everybody's been in a ball game often enough. But we had some kids that we finished with that have not been in a lot of finishes of ball games, and so I was pleased for them. They stepped in and did a nice job, maintained the lead, and I don't know what we were at the free throw line down the stretch, but it must have been 12 for 13 or 12 for 14 or something like that.
Kyle Carlson and David Miller really did the job for you there. 2
of them in particular, they really did a nice job with that, and they're both good shooters, and you know, it was good to see them at the line, and nice to see them take charge of it like that. So that was certainly pleasing for them and for us.
You had several opportunities for fast breaks that you did a nice job on. Were you pleased with the way you played those?
Oh, I think so, and I thought our kids came out and played hard, and I was really pleased that they kept and I thought they kept their composure pretty well. And I thought a ball game that was really badly officiated all the way around. I'm not talking about just against us and so on and so forth. And that's really tough on kids sometimes, that they really lose focus. And I thought both of our sets of kids, I thought McKay's kids and our kids both did a nice job of keeping their focus on the ball game and doing the things they were trying to do. I mean, they fouled quickly, and we went to the line. We did a pretty good job of not turning it over. And right in the middle of some of that were a couple of those, what I would consider to be semi-bizarre calls that they called, and the kids just fouled. You know, the kids fouled out, and they just walked over to the bench and sat down and shrugged their shoulders, which they should do. I'm pleased for that.
You lost to McKay earlier in the year. Was there a revenge factor here, or was this just an important ball game coming down the stretch?
Oh, no, I think it was an important ball game coming down the stretch. It would never be. Coach Maston does a great job, and those McKay kids are super kids. We'd never, you know, that's never our concern, is we have somebody. Actually, you know, McKay did us a service, sort of. We haven't lost since then, and we really needed a wake-up call. And I told Coach Maston before the last ball game, he was telling me, well, I think you guys are going to win. I said, well, you haven't seen us practice the last 3 days. And we played that night just about like we practiced. And so, you know, it was something we had coming and deserved and should have gotten, you know. And
A lot of tough ball games still ahead for you. You've got to play Sprague, and then you have to go out to McNary. How do you see those teams?
Well, you know, this whole league, John, is so topsy-turvy, and the odd thing about it is it doesn't seem to make any difference where. And one of the things we've done all year, and I'm not sure why, is we've played better on the road than we have at home. We've done it all year long. And so we've got 3 of our last 4 on the road. I hope that continues because we've actually done a better job there than we have at home. And boy, we have got them lined up right in a row. We're done with Corvallis. I see Crescent Valley, I think, is coming on well, but we've got South Albany, Sprague and McNary, and then North, and that's a tough finish. However, many of the teams also have a tough finish. It comes down to a lot of big ball games here down this. You know, every night, what you got to do is win one. Look in the paper the next day or call in for the scores that night and find out who beat who because you're looking for some help somewhere. And we'd love it if McNary got beat tonight, for instance.
Final comments on tonight's game.
Well, hey, hard-fought ball game, both teams, and thought both teams did a nice job of staying after it. And hey, pleased to get the win. The win is what we needed, and I'd like to have had it by 90, but I'll take it by 4. And hey, good ball game.
All right, thank you, Barry. Best of luck in the future. Let's bring in Mike McShane for some comments.
Over here.
Mike, thanks for hanging around and joining us tonight. The ball game tonight, officiating was a problem. How do you play in a game like that?
You can't really worry about the officiating. You just got to worry about playing. If you get caught up in the officiating, then it takes you out of your game. You know, and that's tough to do sometimes. You know, I'm sure McKay felt that the officiating wasn't good either. You know, and so pretty much you just got to try and stay in your own game. Listen to your coach. Let the coaches take care of the officiating.
McKay, a very deliberate team. They slowed the ball down, but you had several good opportunities where you got out and ran tonight.
Yeah, we've been concentrating on just, you know, McKay did a real good job the first time we played them of getting back and there real quick, and we knew that they were going to do that again. And so we concentrated on getting the outlet out quick and just pushing it up the court if it was there, and if not, then just holding back and setting up into our half-court offense. Mainly just playing possession by possession and trying to get good shots.
You had some guys, as Coach Adams said, who came in, hadn't really been in there at the end of the games, but Kyle Carlson, David Miller did a nice job.
Yeah, both of them did a real well job of hitting the free throws at the end. They weren't tentative at all. They took it, you know, they were strong with the ball. They did a good job.
How are you feeling about the play of the Saxons at this point in the season?
I think we're coming along pretty well. We just need to concentrate on playing hard in every game and making sure that we play well in every game.
All right, and you've got some tough ones ahead with Sprague, McNary, and 3 on the road.
South Albany, down at South Albany on Tuesday, and that should be a tough game. They're a tough team. They give us a hard time up here, so we got to go down and play well.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the future.
Thanks. Thank you.
And that's Mike McShane of the South Salem Saxons. The Saxons coming out on top over the McKay Royal Scots. And Harv, I think everybody agrees it was a pretty ugly ball game. Lots of fouls, lots of bodies on the floor, but some good things too, and the Saxons have to be happy with the way they performed.
Absolutely. The Saxons have a lot to be happy with tonight. They played one of the Valley League contenders, a team fighting for a playoff spot. Their defense tonight was excellent, John. They absolutely shut McKay off. With the exception of sending Josiah Lake to the line a few times, they really did. Danny Aguilar held to less than double digits. That doesn't happen too often. So they have to be real happy with their defense. They have to be happy offensively too, because so many kids stepped up tonight. If you look at the scoring, it's so well balanced. 5 kids in double figures, 2 more with 9 points. Everybody contributed to the victory. So ugly game, yes. We've talked about it all night long, but a lot of things that South can really feel good about tonight.
How about the McKay Royal Scots?
Well, a tough game for McKay. They're a young team. Then this was really the first time in their losses that they really weren't in it. You know, we've covered ball games, we've watched them all year, and while they've lost 6 in league play, I guess this is their 7th. In the other 6, they were there. You know, none of the losses were by more than 6, 7 points. Most of them by less than 3. Tonight, on the other hand, they really weren't in it, and for them, I'm sure they're going to walk away kind of feeling we had the opportunity and it just didn't happen for us. But they're a young team. They're a resilient team, and they've shown us that all season long in the sense that they've been able to come off of games like this and play extremely strong. Remember when we did them on a Tuesday night against Sprague at home, and they lost it by a point, then turned around and went to McNary a couple nights later, and they looked absolutely awesome and tore McNary apart on McNary's home court. So they're a resilient team. I think they'll come back from this.
The Saxons, are they really in the driver's seat now for the Valley League title?
Oh, I've got to believe so, and I think it's been that way now for really a couple weeks. McNary, when they lost those 3 games back-to-back, dug themselves a little bit of a hole. They're still in it because they have South at their place, but I really, right now, South is playing the best ball in the league.
Final comments on tonight's ball game.
Well, we've talked all night long about the officiating, but again, South Salem playing a contender, stepped up. They had a lot of players step up. Again, lots of players in double figures in the scoring. It wasn't just one person. And defensively, just a sound effort.
All right, once again, the South Salem Saxons coming out on top over the McKay Royal Scots. Before we say goodnight, we'd like to thank a few people. First of all, our sponsors, once again, Round Table Pizza and G.I. Joe's. Thanks for all their support this season. We'd like to thank our CCTV crew. Our director tonight was Tad Hepner, and thanks to all the camera people and audio people and everyone else who makes these ball games possible. Thanks also to the athletic director here at South Salem High School, Mr. Dave Johnson. And finally, thank you for watching Valley League Basketball on Capital Community Television, Cable Channel 25. I'm John Piper. On behalf of Harv Shabothi and the rest of our CCTV Sports crew, say goodnight from South Salem High School.